clap up in them back blocks. These black Glocks, I had you running like a bitch from them back shots. We still running around dirty, I swear this shit hot. Trying to convince my man still invest in the step.
Blockwerk Podcast.
Yes, sir.
We here another week. Come on, man. You gotta ask for it. Of course. Wow, still on the candy. Early on. My bad. Walked in the spot today. Shit like a big ass cloud. Y'all know what that is. That's the smoking section. Always lit. It was lit before we got here today. Usually it's like it warms up as the show goes on. Today, it was full steam ahead before we even got in the spot. So, pardon us if we a little
30 minutes in, we'll be hot.
What's up, Ray? How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. Chilling.
You always feeling good. When you feeling bad? Like, when you feeling okay?
It's always bullshit going on, but I'm feeling good, man.
So you just happy to be here, pretty much.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Okay.
Happy to be here, man.
How y'all feeling, fellas? Smoking section.
Shit is lit.
What that mean? Put us on.
Shit is lit.
Shit is lit.
Put us on. No. Take a little sip of this water real quick. We're gonna get into the antics. Matter of fact, real quick, shout out to Chopping It Up Sports. Make sure y'all tap in. All the new episodes. How many episodes y'all just dropped, Crab?
We got one today.
One today. Make sure y'all tap in. All your real
When y'all
sports
drop?
talk.
When did y'all drop?
Spontaneously.
It varies like us.
Every
Everything
week.
tap in.
It's once a week, but depends on
Chopping
as
it
soon
up
as I edit it.
sports.
I
Follow
drop
them
it.
on the gram. Give them to them.
Also, shout out to the continued listeners, supporters, viewers for Blockwerk Podcast. Make sure y'all keep tapping in with us. We appreciate the love, support, and all that.
Shout out to the one-time listeners. Bitch ass niggas.
Shout out.
Oh, damn.
Let's get into it. This weekend, Alberto Alpo Martinez
Alright, like that.
was allegedly gunned down at 3:27 a.m. on 147 from Frederick Douglass.
Oh,
How y'all feel about that?
Treacherous.
I don't feel no way about it.
Shit was crazy.
All right, let me ask y'all this.
Should have been happening.
Oh,
Let me-
Been out for
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah.
He got
Okay.
released in 2015.
how?
Look, I
won't
see
say
it.
it's been happening. I'm just surprised it took this long to happen.
I see it like I don't wish it on nobody.
Exactly.
Therefore, but I'm like, I'm not gonna miss the person. I'm not saying like I knew him anyway, but it's like I'm not gonna you can't feel a way about it because that's
We come down to it an eye for an eye.
yeah. Let me ask y'all this: Do y'all think that was more so revenge for Rich Porter, or more so revenge for all the people he told them?
Hard to
That's
fucking
what-
gauge.
That's your karma.
It could be anything, yeah.
For
I feel
them
like
hearing
So
it,
what do y'all think is more of? Because mind you, it happened in Harlem,
Right.
so Rich still might have family in Harlem and people that loved him still out there, and all. I don't really know like all the details of who he told them what, but from what I know, most people he told them was from like DC, right?
But he been out, what you said,
Yeah.
6 years?
Yeah, it came on in 2015.
But he been out for all this time. I don't feel like it's, I don't know where it came from, but if it is, you can't put, I don't know, man.
They said it was some beef he had that day. Some argument or something he had earlier that day.
And he was wild. He was jumping out like the older niggas from his era.
Mm-hmm.
That was like that man spoke on him or said something. When he came home, he was jumping out, taking pictures with them, jumping out, like basically like confronting them, like what's up?
Like, front, like I'm
Like,
here
what's
now.
going on?
But then I
Shaking
heard
the
another clip that Queen Split played. In that clip, he was saying that like the niggas his age is not worried about him. You know what because he was saying, you know what they worried about? They worried about if they have any underlying conditions
That's
that would fuck them up for COVID.
Yeah.
He said most niggas that's out here worried about me is young niggas that wasn't at Harlem when I was running around. It's like outsiders.
But that's why he was able to last so long.
That makes
I
it
feel
more
like-
dangerous. You don't know who's going to get you.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta remember, he got family. That was 35 years ago. Them little
their little niggas.
And their kids.
And their kids.
I remember he got family.
Teens. Who listen to that drill shit.
Didn't he get knocked out a couple years ago or some shit like that in the park?
Damn.
Alpo?
Did he?
Wasn't there some shit they say he got knocked out? I don't know if it was
I don't
wrong.
know. I don't know. I ain't.
But either way, he had it coming. That's your karma, man. People, everybody, I see people posting on it. People like is like happy about it happening, but it has nothing to do with
Niggas not even from home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not happy about it, but I don't feel no way about it because I know what he did.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Niggas
I feel
is
like
posting rich and all that. Like, cut the jokes, champ. You was not around. What are you doing?
we know somebody that posted like that.
Man, niggas posting rich. Like, yeah, we got him back, bro. Like,
the rich.
my nigga, cut the jokes, man.
That's
Like,
not your error. That's not
Well,
your
yeah,
lane.
niggas like y'all wasn't even a thought.
oh
yet.
yeah, like, chill out.
Not y'all was in y'all mother's
Nothing.
womb pregnant. Y'all wasn't even the sperm or nothing yet. Y'all niggas just commenting on some shit that happened in the 80s.
Niggas ain't never been in Harlem
Yeah.
and they posting rich.
You been in the shop. You been home in the shop one time. You posted rich. Oh,
Now niggas from 125.
that's my uncle's cousin God.
Oh man.
What do you have? I see people posting Dementio too. He had something to do with that?
Who?
Nah,
Dementio.
they posted Dementio because they said Dementio was fucking for white. That's why they killed Dementio.
Oh, yeah. So he has something to do with it.
That shit happened in Queens, right?
No, that happened. He got killed in DC.
Yeah, that was
Dementio?
DC. Yeah, that was DC.
Dementio's from Brooklyn.
Queens. I don't. In that triangle, I don't know whatever it's called.
I'm from
circle,
Queens,
square,
man.
Whatever. I don't know.
Rest in peace, Prodigy, man.
Niggas in that circle,
Triangle,
square,
I don't know who got killed in Queens.
Yeah.
You put me on.
Yeah, I don't know. Shit.
Word. So let me take it a step further, right? Because 1, 2, 3. I don't know about y'all, but we have fathers that, you know, somewhat in the streets or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
When that time comes, well, they always know that is a time where it's like something might, an indictment or something might come down, right? Because you know what you're doing in the streets, right?
Yep.
So when and if it ever comes, and they got the opportunity to either stand tall and hold it down, or take the stand against somebody and take that road and be what we consider being a rat, right?
Yeah.
When y'all feel like these people make these decisions to so-called tell a rat, do you think they're putting, like, are they thinking of their family's safety when they do that, or they just thinking of themselves?
I feel like they all think of their family safety, but also
It's a lot to it.
depends on your money situation. It's like, you know,
It's many factors. I'd have to ask my pops personally because he's locked for that, not telling.
for not ratting.
Yeah, he been when it came home. But he just stood his 10 toes, and that nigga is 23 years in though. So it's like, it's a good question to ask him now. With 23 years past, would you still make the same decisions you made back then?
Yeah.
Before you were
But I'm saying, like, when people do take the when people do take the other route, right?
You might get an answer you don't want to hear.
No, but perspective,
it won't
or
be held-
from
whatever the answer is not gonna be held against him because he already did what he's already
Right.
held
Yeah,
down.
still up, yeah.
But
Right.
at the same time, you might hear something. He might tell you like, "Yeah, I wish I would have."
yeah, no, I mean, but that's how I respect
Now
it.
he's looking at a grown ass man that he know he wasn't there for 23 years. So his answer might be different from that time.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like it's good. That's why you gotta install morals into the kids, into your kids, daughters and sons.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you just hope they understand why that decision was made. But also it depends on how old they was when shit hit the fan.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because you got a lot of people that's lot like that might have ratted, that came home Not even if they came home or not. That they ratted, but after that, he might have felt like that was the best decision for his kids and his family. But at the same time, if you can't move your family out of this state, not this neighborhood, now your kid gotta grow up with other kids just normal, like it follows.
That's what I'm saying. Like the safety part. It's like once they decide, like, all right, I'm telling. Are y'all considering like y'all kids gotta grow up now? Like when people, your father was a rat, and then now they're in danger because he don't know how whoever he told on, whoever parents he told on, those kids might see your kid, and it might be lit. Mm-hmm. So are they thinking about those type of decisions when they're doing it, or they're just thinking about, I'm just trying to come home, and that's it. I'm not worried about my child's safety.
From the space of a person who's telling, who was in the streets, I think it's a selfish person. Off rip. You're not even thinking for your family, you're thinking for yourself, ultimately. Because you just don't want to do time in jail. And if you're in the streets, it's an unwritten law, which is whatever, but at the end of the day, if you killing niggas, how you gonna tell on a nigga who killing niggas just lessen your time? You know what you up against. So it's either you go fucking sit behind a desk or, you know what I'm saying? So it's a selfish act to ultimately snitch. Now, if you're a civilian, you don't abide by those rules.
No, just strictly like street. Like
so a street person to snitch, it's very selfish. It's very selfish. It's understandable why you would. Mm-hmm. You facing 40-something years, you fucking 20-something just for fucking cool points. You could understand why a person do it. What I agree with them doing it is a different story. I could understand why somebody would snitch. It's common sense. Who wants to do 20, 40, 50, 60 years? You get it? So it's understandable why you would do it. Would I agree? Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Why play that game if you want to result like that? Now you're such a critical thinker. Yeah. What happened to the critical thinking before picking up the bricks? The guns? What happened? Yeah. So, nah.
That's where the morals come into play.
Right.
Morals.
Right.
Now, I got another question for y'all. Let's say, for example, since BMF is this big thing right now, right? TV show and all that. Let's say if Big Meech and T went left, right?
Told.
Do y'all think that whole thing would have been as like glorified the way it is now, even though they was probably the biggest to ever do it as far as like black people? Do y'all think it would still like get all that fame and that?
I think you can't take away what they did, but as far as the status you hold Big Meech and his family to, I think that's where things change. The story can't be erased. What they did was unique. They'll love the story, but they'll just paint it like this is what ultimately happened behind this guy.
But somebody, you see how 50 Cent he's telling the story, he's doing it.
Yeah.
There will be some white person, some white producer somewhere telling the story.
No, it could still be him too though, because there's like there's something going on right now. Like the rights was 50 bought. Big Meech's life story was sold to someone else. Someone else had the rights. 50 got in touch with that person, and that's how 50 was able to do the show. But Big Meech approved. Yeah. So that's why everything is cool. So regardless, somebody would have been able to buy his story because he sold his story to someone.
But and do y'all feel like if they did take that left route, would y'all feel like his son will be able to move around how he moving around now? Even though he was a child when all that shit happened.
Alpo son, who about
the nigga Paparazzi Poe.
Is that really his son?
I believe, he got his old clothes and shit.
He does look like him, but you know.
I think he wasn't moving around this whole time jacking that.
Who?
Nah, he wasn't, but his name was Paparazzi Poe though. Niggas knew what that meant. Alpo, Paparazzi Poe.
I don't think everybody did.
I mean, as long as I knew him as Alpo's son.
I never knew. How long have you heard of him?
Instagram. He's an Instagram.
How recently? Because he been
about 4 or 5 years at least.
Paparazzi Poe, Paparazzi Poe started the game YG.
Yeah, I already know
Shot
that.
5 people for. He used to run with Robert. Forgot his name. That's what he really.
I know you're talking about too though.
So he built his own name.
But I'm saying he wasn't jacking the I'm Alpo's son shit until Alpo came home.
No. They was saying it before that, but not like until like later on when people
Right.
heard the story. Like,
More people.
Son, you feel me?
Right, okay.
'Cause the more
So he
you-
was moving on his own 10.
Yeah, you feel me? The more you big head a story, I'm wrong with this shit. If it involves me, I'm wrong with it.
Right, all publicity, good publicity.
So you saying both of them in this case should be comfortable. Well, Big Meech didn't snitch. I'm saying if he did, they would be just comfortable moving around.
It's just like Charlie Clips. Charlie Clips, right? Allegedly, his father's a snitch, but he's walking around on as his own man. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it could go either way. Like, I'm gonna still be me. You feel me? You gotta rate me for me. If you don't want to fuck me, you don't want to fuck me. But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be moving around. You get what I'm saying? And then it all depends on who you tell on. You tell on the cartel, your whole family, he's not gonna live to see his teens. You get what I'm saying? They gonna come immediately.
What was the question again? What was the original question?
The question was, if these people like Big Meech and Southwest T, if they did decide to snitch when that
Same
came
thing,
down,
Would Lil
His
Meech
son be able to move around comfortable how he move around?
He should be.
I think he still would be able to move around comfortably but he wouldn't get as much love.
Right.
Because, like you said,
Your street credit is kind of damaged. You gotta. Right.
I don't know what he was doing, but he was outside. You can't put that on me. That shit might have made me wild. That shit might have.
Yeah. You might gotta.
Me hearing everybody saying my pops is a rat might have would have made me a gangster.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because now I'm
just to
like,
prove.
Now I gotta show y'all I'm not him.
Yeah. Because you got me fucked up. You keep calling me that shit, I'm gonna clap you, nigga.
Oh, alright.
That's what he did though. Somebody gotta hold it down. Now what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna get a little bit more personal. I know you just said your father locked up right now.
Mm-hmm.
My father did 10 years. Your pops ever did time? Like a long stretch?
When I don't know how long, cause I was like little. But like as like
He
junior
did
high
time.
school, he did a year. And he like do little spurts.
Okay. How old was you when your pops went away?
It was 6. It was on my birthday or the day after. I remember that shit.
You remember
I remember
vividly?
it vividly, yeah. Me and my brother's birthday is back to back. Mine's the 15th, his is the 16th. My pops was coming to the party.
Okay.
So party's going on. I'm looking for my pops. Where's my pops? Pops never comes. So I hear later on in the night, I go in the kitchen, I just overhear the adults talking. Like, yeah, he got arrested again. But my pops have always been getting arrested. Like, little dumb shit. Like, you know what I mean? And he was in CT, so they already didn't fuck with him because he's from New York, so whatever. So I hear that shit and I'm just disappointed, like, fuck. But little did I know that it was for something crazy this time. And he's been locked since then.
And what year was that?
97, I want to say.
97.
Yeah, 97, 98.
Like
97,
99.
98, 99, because I was 6. I'm on 92, so it's like 98. 99.
How did that affect you? Like when you
So
found
growing up? Oh, what? An immediate moment?
Yeah, like when
I
you
mean,
found out.
immediately it was just like disappointment. Like, damn, I wanted you to be at my birthday. That's what that was like.
So you just cared about him being at the birthday.
Yeah, it was
You
because
ain't
I'm
really-
a kid.
Yeah, because you don't really
Because
know
I'm
what's
not
going on.
thinking, and to my knowledge, he's been arrested before, so I'm like, oh, he be home. It's really nothing to it. You just ain't make my birthday. It was more like that, like, fuck, big party, he's not here, like that.
Because you was still a kid.
Yeah,
Me-
so nothing ain't
See,
really.
now, your pops was going from that young. Me, my pops went, like, I don't remember a lot of his long bids. I was little. And then as a kid, I remember, of course, when daddy's in school, phone calls, But now, what affected me the most is when I was in junior high school, and I think he got locked. I know he got locked for the year. I think he did like a year and a half, almost 2 years, fighting it. That was the first time it really affected me. Because it was before that. It's cool. Like you hear the stories, you hear this. Everybody think they pops the toughest guy, pops the gangster. It's like now it's like I get the phone call from my sister. She's like, yeah, daddy got locked up. I'm like, all right, like, fuck. Yeah, man, he might be gone for a little while. And I remember like being upset, and crying, being mad, and crying and shit like that. And like that shit, like that's when I don't know. You gotta be careful. You got a son or a kid, you gotta be careful. You gotta make sure you tell him like I said, install morals and just not telling everything, but just you gotta have them in mind when you're doing things. Because that is a pivotal moment in my life to where like, I remember right after that phone call, I went to hang out with gang. Like I'm outside, I'm telling them, I know being upset. These niggas like, everybody feel like their father been in jail. Everybody been through that. So he's like,
literally.
Nigga, yo,
Yeah.
what up, nigga? You alright, nigga? Yeah. Like,
Right.
Niggas at that time.
But you like, nah, it's my
I'm
pop.
in junior high school. Like,
Yeah.
niggas smoking weed. Niggas was drinking. They was like, I'm at the liquor store. Like, it's like, man, alright. I just remember that night. Like, it's not like I sat in the house and was dwelling on it. I'm going outside with the game.
Right.
Yeah. And just thank God that we wasn't on no bullshit. Cause we could have been on some bullshit that night. And nigga would have just been like, man, I'm gonna fuck my pops more.
Right. Fuck all you niggas.
Yeah. But you, on the other hand, see, my shit, like I said, I had that one moment in junior high school, and then, of course, throughout high school, it was like little bullshit stints. Your pops was going, and then he came back when he was an adult.
Yeah, well, when I was young, like baby,
Shorty.
he did a little bit when I was like shorty.
Mm-hmm.
Then came home. He was always there all the time. My mother used to take me to see him and all that. Came home, was always there. Crap, I tell you. Always had me and my brother with him. Great pops. Both of y'all pops, sure they was great pops.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I was like, I might have been like 12. I'm 28 now. I might have been like 12. I remember he had went away. He had went down south because we got family in Atlanta. He had went down south for like a couple weeks.
He was on the run.
Nah, him and my mom was trying to, figure it out. So he would just take some space, give up space for a little while. Then I remember he came back on February 13th because his birthday is on the 14th, Valentine's Day, and their wedding anniversary was the same day. So I remember he came up to take her out to dinner or something, right? And then I think he left the next morning. And then I think it might have been like, he left, went back down south, it might have been like a week later. That's when my mom's told me. I remember she called me in her room. She was like, your father got arrested. I'm like, like legit, just like that, like.
Right.
He was like, nah, this time he probably gonna go away for a long time. I was like literally like this. I was like, okay.
You was 12. Did you understand it?
I was like 12.
Did it like?
I don't.
It doesn't register.
Like that age,
Yeah.
even now as men, our minds are not fully like grown yet. Like we're still growing to understand certain things, but especially when you're that young, it don't really hit you until like some time go by and you got time to think about it. But even with that, like when she told me, I was like, all right, and I just act like
You kept it pushing.
didn't bother me, and like I've told people like this story. I mean, I wish my pops would have came for this episode too. Like that whole time he was gone, like before he left, we was tight. Like I said, he always had me and my brother with him. We was good. And now it's like that whole time he was gone, I was just on something like I didn't care about nothing. Nothing bothered me, like nothing. Like I barely cried when somebody passed, like shit like that didn't bother me. I don't know if that was just always in me, or I don't know if that situation, him going away, caused that.
I feel like I felt the same way when my pops like you said 12. He had to be around the same. What grade you when you were 12?
12, I was in 8th.
I think I was like
I was
7th,
in
8th. That shit happened with my pops. Even though I was upset about it, I low key like fake understood. So my pops would never tell me everything that's going on. But he always would like. He used to do. He knew that I would see it and I would catch on. Especially in junior high school. You about to be in high school. Eventually you gonna know. If I keep running in and out this house, coming back with money, I'm doing this.
Right.
I seen that's what he was doing. Or if I'm doing this, you gonna see, you catch on.
Right.
So he like in his own way, like told me what may happen. So when it happened, yeah, I was upset. But at the same time, it wasn't like I didn't give a fuck at that moment. But at the same time, it was just like I speak to him. It was just regular. He'd be like, "Here, brother, I'm gonna write you." Like, "Here, you ain't write me." He'd be like, "Yo, don't like. This is what I was like. Don't be moving funny. Like, you feel me? Like, understand that this. Like, he always told me. My mother and my father always told me, like, it's a consequence for everything you do. My father would tell me, like, you do this, you can do that if you want to. But this what that come with. This was gonna happen. So I kind of fake understood, and I never was like out like that with it. I never resented him. I never was upset. Not saying that you say you resented him. I didn't feel rebellious towards that. I just felt like I didn't give a fuck.
Now that you said the word resent, right? Like I've told a few people this story before, and they see with their own eyes how I move with my pops. But compared to me telling them how it used to be, they automatically assume that I resent him for leaving. But I don't. Like I was never. Well, I don't feel like I was ever mad at him, or I was ever like, "Fuck you, do that stupid shit you just left us." Like I really didn't feel like that ever.
Right.
I'm sure at one point my mother felt like that, because obviously you knew what that came with.
Right.
Then you knew if that time come where you get jammed up. Now I'm just here by myself to raise two boys. But me personally, I didn't like the relationship me and my father have now. Like not a lot of people, but a handful of people. That's what they assume, that I resent him for leaving for that long. It was like almost just about 10 years. But I don't. And my father, like I said, I wish he was here to be here right now for this interview.
Tell his part,
He's gonna watch. He could have told his part, but I know he's gonna watch, so I'm gonna tell him that I don't hate you. It's just once you a bond you have with somebody that's like this, like, because a lot of people don't have fathers like us that was there for us. It's a lot of people that don't have that.
No.
So when you have that and you're accustomed to that, and then that person you looked up to, or that father and that father figure is not there for that long, it's like how you can't expect the bond to be the same.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I don't feel like me looking from the outside looking in. Being that you said that, the way you move with him, how y'all move, I don't feel like he feel like you resent him.
no, not
Outside.
I don't think he. Man, I'm not gonna say he doesn't feel like that, but I kind of think he feels like he could feel with energies like different. That it's not the same, but it's like also like nigga, you was gone for 10 years, and when you left, I was 12. When you came home, nigga, I was 21, 22, almost a grown ass man. So it's like all the stuff that I was supposed to learn from you, I didn't get that. Like I had to learn that on my own. And it was a handful of like male figures that was with me. Like they know who they are. But I think he feels like he could feel that. I don't know if it's tension. I don't know the word, but I think he could feel that a little bit.
I don't think it's tension. I think it's like just that empty space. Like
yeah.
10 years.
I know he could feel it.
Just moved away from
like
that
you said,
10
this
years.
empty space, but I feel like he just knows. So he's just like,
yeah.
I think
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he knows.
he's just,
Like,
yeah,
I
he's
left
just playing
when I
this
was a kid.
position like,
I
you
came
know.
back. You're a grown man.
Grown ass
Right.
man.
It's not the time for me to be here like I'm your dad.
Yeah.
You didn't know.
And like during that 10-year span, I probably saw him like 3 times.
He was
10
like in
years.
New York.
No.
Nah, in North Carolina. If it was New York, I would have saw him every visit.
Oh yeah.
He was in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So I saw him like 3 times. And the whole attitude that I had when my mother first told me, I carried that into the visits, right? Because I remember the very first visit. It was me, my mother, my sister, and my little brother, right?
You might need therapy.
Nah, seriously. But we're gonna get into that too, but hold on. When we got there, the visit was cool. everything good. You know, they come to give you a warning when the visit's about to be over, like 5 minutes left or 10 minutes, and it was like a physical visit. It wasn't like no glass. It was like
Contact visit.
Contact visit. When they come and give that warning, and let's get into that down to that last 3-4 minutes, my little brother and my little sister, they start crying. And I'm looking at them like they crazy. I'm like, yo, what y'all crying for? And I literally say that. I'm like, yo, why y'all crying?
You got a little sister.
I mean, not my little sister, my older sister and my little brother.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, why y'all crying? And I'm looking at my mother. I'm like, what's wrong with them? And I literally said, yo, they bugging. They bugging out. Bro, I was like 13. And my sister. My sister is like 7 years older than me. I'm like, yo, she's bugging.
Yeah.
And my little brother, I understand, because at the time I was 13, so he had to be like 8 or 9, so I get it. But my sister, I'm like, but I don't know if that's me really thinking like, why the fuck are y'all crying, or is that me hiding my shit like this shit is affecting me, but I just don't know it.
Right.
I don't feel it.
You don't.
Right.
Still to this day, you don't know.
I don't know.
It might just be your attitude. That might just be you.
That's what I'm saying. It might just be who I am as a person.
Because if it hurt you, it would come out. And when y'all me see like from the outside, me seeing y'all interact, like I ain't saying like I'm around y'all all the time. It don't seem like no bad energy, no bad. But I feel like it's just like a you, and he's just like he's
not trying to be my pop. He's trying to be my man. Like trying to kick it.
Not even that. It's just like he's just like whatever. Like I can you can tell that he's for whatever you for, but at the same time it's just like not him forcing it. I feel like he's not forcing it. He's just like, yeah, I'm here, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he's grown.
And a turning point with this. And mind you, this is I feel like this is our platform, so I can say what I want to say without my father feeling no way. Recently, maybe like in the summertime or like springtime, we went to Miami. Incident happened. I didn't like how he handled it because he kind of like flew off the handle, raised his voice a little bit.
At you?
Like me, it was me, my god sister, my sister, and like 2 of my cousins. He like kind of went crazy. So you know me, like laughed it off. And, right when it happened, I'm like, all right. Like, I take the seat back, right? Facts, but I see, like that whole day, I see how it affected my sister. Like it really fucked with her.
She was upset.
She was upset. She was ready to leave, like the next flight out of Miami. So
maybe she probably wasn't used to that though. You know, like
that's
I said,
what I'm saying. She wasn't.
That might be just your personality. She wasn't used to that. She's just like.
But I felt like I'm like, all right, I see how it's affecting her. And at the same time, I'm a grown-ass man. So later on that day, we was at the pool. He was already at the pool. We pulled up later. And like, he was asleep on like one of the shits. In the pool, whatever it's called. I tapped him, I said, yo. Pull him to the side.
Before you finish the story.
Nah, listen, no.
Let me just say that could have went 1 or 2 ways.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, yo.
You could have ended up like baby boy.
Like this.
Or
I was like, yo, let me holler at you real quick. So I told him about it, like, told him what it was, told him I didn't like it, told him how I felt. He was like, I'm a grown man now, so whenever you have an issue with me, just approach me a certain way and we get to the bottom of it. We handle it like men, like I'm doing right now. He was like, you know what? You're right, I apologize. And I respected that. And after that, you can see that he's a little more like you said, that space close a little bit. But I feel like that was because of me. Cause I feel like if I didn't do that when I felt the way about him yelling or whatever, I think it would have made more space. But I said, you know what? Instead of me acting like I don't care about that shit, let me just address it.
That was dope.
So it's not
tension. We're involved.
Then it really becomes tension. So I'm like, let me just address it now, get it out the way, then whatever comes from it, comes from it. But I feel like if I don't address it, it's just gonna eat up that space with it. It's gonna turn that empty space into tension space. Right? So
salute to both of y'all. You for even approaching it like that and not having an attitude like a female. And also him for understanding me, because like I said, it could have went the other way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not saying
Because he could have been like, nigga, I'm your father type shit.
Yeah. He didn't come with that energy.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, you know what? You right. You a grown man.
Yeah, really good. Fuck my fault.
You said what?
Fuck yeah, I ain't good. Fuck my fault.
Ain't never meet his pops.
People locked up for 4.
Oh, this look, I got a good question since Crab just brought that up. What is better for the kid? No father at all, or inconsistent father?
No father at all. No.
Inconsistent father, because some presence is better than none at all.
Wow.
Because
Yeah,
you could be an inconsistent father, but you could be awesome.
At the very least,
Like
you
in that present.
inconsistent father. At the least, you get where you might get some of your ways from, where you get your looks from, where you get this
A
from.
lot of questions.
But inconsistent father doesn't mean a bad father. Because him and the moms is going through something, that don't mean because he's inconsistent in your life. When he comes through, he could be dropping jewels and helping you out and telling you the right thing.
He could be
What
that
do you mean
nigga.
be inconsistent father? What's your definition?
I'm looking at it as like, oh, he comes to pick the kid up on this weekend.
That's dope.
Don't see the kid for another 4 months. Comes to
still
pick
good.
the kid up again and spend time with him. Don't see him for 6 months.
That's good.
Like shit
It's
like
still
that.
good. Because
I think
the fact that you got alone time with the kid, that alone makes a difference of no presence of the
my
dad.
father was like that to a point, but it was never months. It might be like, I can't even say it was week all the time. Because even if
Yeah, but it's hard when you not with your spouse. It's hard to see your kid every single day anyway.
Right.
Especially when y'all living apart.
There's still things you will learn from him, whether he's the best father or not. Still things you will learn about yourself and about him, and you will learn in something like not everything.
He's still a rock star when he pull up though.
Yeah,
A son always look at his pops as a rock star, especially when you're young. He could be a crackhead. He could be a crackhead, but you don't know he's a crackhead. You just know it's your pops. He pull up with the lollipop for you every time. That don't mean shit. But it be the little things and whatever he say is gold. You feel me? It's just that's your pop. So it's, you know.
See, I don't agree. I don't agree with the inconsistent pops. Like if you gonna be there, nigga, all the time. Because you brought this into the world. You knew what you was doing when you had sex without no condom.
What if it's because of the woman he's not there?
Yeah,
I was gonna say it's not so black and white.
No, let's. I'm just thinking of it as because of him. He's not choosing to be there. He's not
as
choosing
a
to be there.
kid, you're not gonna know why. You got rappers that's not inconsistent pops, but
When that nigga
baby
pop up,
moms and their kids are straight. I'm an inconsistent pop because I don't get along with your mother and I'm on tour, and when I come in town, your mother playing games, and I'm not gonna deal with that shit.
cause she wanna be with me.
She's getting $13,000 a month from me. I'm not dealing with her attitude.
But then what? So you saying that's inconsistent?
That's inconsistent. But I would say that's inconsistent because you're not spending the time that you should be spending, but at the same time, you're just not tolerating all the bullshit you got to go through to deal with. That's just an example. Now on the level that where we come, like our level where the pops may not have money and is not like the riches and don't have the time all the time, like. That's why I said my pops could be somebody. Some people. My mother might say my pops was an inconsistent pops at some point in time, but at the same time, he did come get there. It was never no more than 2 weeks or whatever. I knew I could call him if at the very least I could talk to him. Or when he did come, we spent time. When he did come, he gave me money. Like he did the things that my mother necessarily wasn't going. Like my mother was not going to give me no $200, $300. Now my father, I might not have seen him for 3 weeks, but when he pull up, I'm like, yo, where was you at? He's like, man, I had to do this. Yo, here, get you some sneakers, or you put money in my pocket, or then he might be gone. Like, that's not the best way to do it, but the time spent with him, you learn things about, like, I learned shit from him. Yeah. Whether it was good or bad, but you just learn.
Right, but see, your father, just because he wasn't there every day, doesn't mean he's a bad father. When I say inconsistent, I'm like the example I just gave.
You mean like just not there?
Yeah, like just you pop up every now and then, like just.
And pop up and do what?
Just because you feel like that's being a good father. Like, let me just go see my son.
So you
describe him as if he's a bad
in terms of inconsistent. Let's pop up dads.
Yeah, but
pop up dads or no dads.
But the whole appearance could be a good vibe. That's what I'm saying. So if it's a good vibe, it's better than no pops. Now, if he pops up and he's a piece of shit, he come in the crib, he drunk, smacking shit over. Nah, you tearing the kid whole, you scaring him. So the kid is gonna grow up with nigga, you better off don't come around here, bro. You no good. You stealing the fucking heater. You trying to crackhead. You feel me? Now the pops who's just as inconsistent or even worse as far as appearance, but when he shows up, he's fucking lit. He got a nice car. He take you shopping for the day, then poof, going again. Another 2 years, you don't see him. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's levels.
Yeah, I don't agree. I mean, I understand what y'all are saying, but I feel like just don't be there at all. Let me figure it all out on my own. Don't come in. Don't just pop in and out whenever you please.
But
I get what you're saying.
You saying don't be there at all. You gotta think like that shit really affects.
Because then I'm not expecting. I'm not expecting you to be there. Because if you pop up here and there, then I'm expecting like when is he coming back?
Right.
When is he coming back?
I feel like you know when your pops is really a piece of shit when you get to that.
So when you start getting older, that's where that shit start making.
At that point, when you can really tell him about himself, like he's still not doing it, you got to do a piece of shit on your head. Yeah. But when you get to that point where you like, bro, like I don't want to hear, like when you could disrespect and be like, I don't
like, why you keep doing it?
I haven't seen you, you're not doing this, my mother's struggling, I ain't got it, da-da-da.
You'd have to speak to someone who have a dad, like ask them, you feel me? Because there's people out here with that situation.
You already jumped out there. Too.
Well, Krabs' dad wasn't there as a whole, right?
As the big old, my pops was gone since I was 4 years old. So he was locked up and then he got deported.
Okay. So he didn't choose to not be there. It was just a circumstance.
He chose not. Well, my pops tried to kill me. That was the whole thing.
All right. That's a whole nother story.
That's
a whole nother episode.
That's why I had to speak with that because that was different from the situation.
Right.
He tried to kill me, so that's why he got locked up and then ended up getting deported. He's been gone since before.
First of all, as men, I'm sorry for your trauma, kid.
Yeah,
for real.
It's real, but deal with it.
For real. Do y'all, like, fathers not being there, do y'all think, even, obviously not, well, you older now, do you understand how it affected you not having him around? You still learning?
I personally don't think I was affected, but growing up, I've been told I have an anger problem. So that could be behind, underlying issues is to me missing my pops. Who knows? But I have siblings, and they have more obvious issues, so it does affect you.
Right,
it does.
Sometimes you.
And when I was the dumber, I was
a little boy needs a man that he respects. Like, yo.
Also, what helped me is having mad father figures around. So I had Chris O's, my godfather, all types of old heads in the hood, uncles.
Did they ever have to have a moment where they had to do that?
What, fight me?
Not
like
fight
try
you,
to discipline me?
Like just be stern with you, like yo boys.
Yeah, but when I'm a little kid, it worked. But when I was in my teens, nobody could have told me nothing. I challenged everybody, so it was like I never challenged my pops though, but everybody else. Yeah, but I still had a different respect for my pops. It was like more so I never wanted to disappoint him. Still to this day, it's just a different honor there.
But you see how when I first asked you the question, you said. You don't. What would you say? You don't think it affected you. You don't feel like it affected you, right?
Yeah.
Because.
Well, I'm not sure if it affected me.
Like.
But it could have.
The way. Like black men, the way we're brought up in these type of urban communities, we're learned to. We're taught to tuck all that shit away.
Right. Yeah.
Don't show your emotions. Don't wear that shit on your sleeve.
Yeah.
Like always keep a poker face. Don't let anybody see you sweat.
Yeah.
It's
But
not good.
That's what I'm saying. I was about to say that. It's not good that from a young age, that's what we're being taught. Like to always hold it down. Like and not let somebody know when you're going through something or you feeling a way about something. And like don't be I feel like with the generation that's coming up behind us and even younger, they should not be ashamed or afraid to tell somebody like, nah, I'm not good. Like I'm depressed. Like I'm not happy. Like I wanna go to therapy. Black men need therapy. As As much as we don't want,
black women too.
Yeah, as much as we don't want to admit it, because we feel like we so tough, we need therapy.
Chicks too.
I feel like a lot of us make dumb decisions on being scared too. Like I'll be saying this a lot to like my friends, certain friends, to my girl. On my mother, I'm scared. But I won't say it in a way to where it's like, you scared? Like, you scared? I'll say it like, yo, I'm scared, like, but in my way of saying, I'm scared. So if I do something erratic, I did it out of fear. Like, I'll say it like that. Or sometimes it leads to good things. Like, I don't gotta be scared because of something crazy. I might be like, I'm scared because I know if I miss this next payment, and I ain't got it right now, I know I gotta buckle down. You feel me? And it be shit like that. But I know a lot of people be scared and be having to act stupid or crazy to just be like, yo, like, the whole time, like, yo, bro, you robbed your mans because you needed money for that phone bill, huh?
You could have just asked.
You could have spoke to three of us. We could have put 25 each.
But that's a trait that you gotta weed out. That's desperation. Yeah. That you really, that's a horrible place to be in, being desperate.
But the other trait that we gotta weed out is the trait that
pride.
You want to ask for help.
Pride.
You can't have too much.
Right.
Of that.
So yeah, at all.
You gotta cut that out a little bit.
At least have a relationship with somebody who you could be transparent with. If you're not with it to do it, everybody in the room at least, alright, boom, I know I can hear it like, yo, Ray, yo, shit is crazy right now. I don't mean to burden you right now, but yo, I need 200 right quick. I pay you back piece by piece. So however, you know what I'm saying, shit like that.
It's not about money most of the time. Sometimes
I'm just jam. Just jam.
Niggas don't want to talk
and
because
black people,
they don't know who they can really talk to.
Give a nigga some Henny, some licks. Niggas start spilling.
When you and your man going through something,
they hug
y'all fall out or y'all out of beef, don't bring that shit back up.
Well,
don't use that as a crutch.
But that's what I'm saying.
What did you
don't know who to talk
like,
to.
If you and your man have if he have a heart, like let's say something embarrassing or something like how I told you, I said I'm scared. Like this shit, I'm scared about this.
Yeah.
And then later on, I'll be
you
said you were scared.
Yeah, don't later on.
Oh, like throw back in.
Oh yeah.
You gotta know who you can talk to. Yeah, you know who you can talk to. Because the nigga, let's be real, it be the ones closest to you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So if you're talking to somebody who low-key envy you or jealous of you, and you thinking he your man, because them niggas are the ones who want to play you close for some odd reason, you vent to him and he gonna throw it in your face, because now he feel like he got the up end. He can't wait to yell at you. My pop said, play basketball with a nigga, you'll see if he your man's or not.
Play basketball.
Play one-on-one with him. Play a one-on-one with a nigga.
But you see in the...
Because he be talking mad shit.
About what?
Nah, but they get physical. If a nigga, it's one thing talking shit and then one thing another nigga ready to fight.
He said play basketball with him.
Play one-on-one with a nigga and you see your man.
Any of my mans get that word.
Yeah,
I ain't saying like he scrape you up, but I'm saying fighting
elbows, nigga.
If we playing for money, this nigga is lit.
Yeah, y'all niggas is
my man's
they both ass up.
On the sideline, I'm crab. On that court, I'm 6'8" lunatic, nigga.
After we step up the court, I'ma hug you. All that. I'ma give you a hug. I love you, bro. I just bust your ass, nigga.
Eyes is closed, lips is fat.
That comes with it, nigga. You competing.
Yeah.
That comes with it.
Money games back in the day.
Straight games.
Just like that, nigga.
That comes with it.
Any more follow questions?
Nah, I think that's it.
Alright, so to close that out, I want to know what's like the best thing y'all learned from y'all pops, whether it was you learned from his actions or from him telling you, and what's not the worst thing but the craziest thing you think you might have got from your pops. Something that's just like
the craziest thing. I'm gonna start with the craziest. When my mother told me that he got arrested, I ain't asked what it was for. She didn't tell me nothing. I was just like, I think maybe like a year later, I found the transcript with all the charges on it, and I'm like, at that time, you know, we was watching the movies like Paid in Full and listening all that type of shit, and a part of me was like, kind of proud. Like that, but that's from me just watching TV and seeing all these things being glorified. So that's the craziest thing. What was the other question? The thing I learned? The best thing I learned?
Best thing, yeah.
Before he left, that nigga took care of his family. Like, no matter what, that nigga made it happen. Regardless. He made it happen. We had a nice car. If we couldn't afford the nice car, we had a bullshit car. But we still got to school on time. Feel me? He made it happen.
You? It's just a quote. It always stick with me. Small thing to a giant.
That's the good thing.
Yeah. Oh, some bad shit I learned from?
It's the craziest. Like,
Oh,
this ain't gotta be bad, but something that's it's just like you got that from your father.
I mean, they say my father's a Gemini too, so they say we act one and the same. So maybe it could be like when I'm stubborn. That might be the crazy. I'm stubborn as fuck. I know that. I'm locked in. I don't want to hear it. I'm doing what I'm doing. Feel me? And I stand on it. What it is, what it is. Whether it's good or bad, I'm willing to. You know what? Blockwerk. Yeah, can't really get details on it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
I feel like the best thing I learned from my father is understanding the reaction for your action. Like, just because I slapped you, you might stab me. You know, to understand the consequences for your action. If I do, yes, I might have, me and you might have did something. We did it at the same time, but I got caught. I still did that, so it's like no bitching about it. Like, you did it. Now, the craziest thing is, I was always small and short. And he used to always be like, yo, he's like, I don't care what happened. You win, you lose, or draw. You go back, you pick up something heavy, and you bust that nigga in his head. And I still would take that with me, because I'd be like, in my head, I feel like the same thing. I'd be like, you got me. Like, you might win.
All right.
I'm going to get you the fuck back.
That's
and I feel like that's crazy and that's bad.
Damn, going back to bash nigga that after you win the fight is crazy. He said win, lose.
Not win. But like on some shit like that.
You cold blooded.
Yeah, now it's a win.
You're a cold blooded.
That's on some like shit like that.
One?
Basically told like keep telling me like nigga, don't let nobody bully you, somebody beat you up, you scared. Like don't be scared of nobody. Like everybody respects something. Like he might feel like he can beat you every time, but if he feel like that second time, he like nah. First time this nigga hit me in the head, bad. I'm not doing that again. You know what I'm saying? Like just that.
Right.
I'm gonna do a little.
He said win. That's crazy.
Win is crazy.
Now you the bully.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little 3-second moment of silence for my man Big Kev. My man Ray Pops. Yesterday made 3 years since he been gone. We're gonna do a little moment of silence for 3 seconds. Close your eyes. Rest in peace to my man Big Kev.
Wow.
Big homie right
Condolences. Wow.
We're gonna close it out. Today was a good one, man. I like that one. A lot of serious conversation. Good vibes. It's not smoking session, not too crazy about those.
Nah, I'm high.
A little bit.
Me too.
I'm definitely I am
tolerant.
Cause I'm back. I'm not drinking water. I'm dazing out. I'm like, alright, hold on. What's
Make
going
sure
on?
y'all tap in sports, man.
Definitely best, sir.
All your sports talk, the real sports talk. Not that filter stuff you gotta see on ESPN and all that. You want the real deal? Pull up here, right here. Make sure y'all follow that too. We everywhere. We everywhere. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. Google Podcasts. Just type it in. Make sure y'all use the E. Cause I know sometimes y'all probably be searching for us. Y'all put W-O. Gotta put the E. Once you put the BLOCKWE, it's gonna pop right up because we the only podcast with this. So make sure y'all tap in. Blockwerk, we out there. Bop!